Welcome back, and today we're talking about Higurashi When They Cry, episode 10. So, like always, let's just jump into it. Episode 10 of Higurashi is all about Satoko and her past. We get to learn about her character quite a lot, but it was really like a really sad flashback. I really hate when animes and heck even real life and then TV shows kind of do the child abuse thing, because again, it's one of those things that I absolutely hate. I just don't see how people can do and harm and abuse and then physically abuse children. I mean, they're just defenseless at the end of the day. So I really do hope that her uncle gets what's coming to him. And hopefully, because we got a little snapshot of what could potentially happen, right? We see Keichi at the beginning of the episode. He's having a nightmare where he's chasing somebody, and it turns out to be Satoko's uncle. And, he was going to hurt him. It seemed like Keiichi was going to hurt him. And he was kind of saying, to the uncle, what you did to Satoko was way worse. So there's definitely something going on. And my theory behind all of this is that since Keiichi, we already seen it a couple times, that every time there's a big event, the timeline or there's like a restart to the town or something, where essentially whenever a big event happens, the next episode is like we're start from the beginning. And maybe Keiichi maybe has some type of powers, I don't know, but maybe those different timelines are starting to kind of wave together, and that's why Keiichi is starting to see these different scenes, right? Because this is not the first time it has happened. If you remember episode 1, we saw Keiichi have another nightmare. This time he was bashing Shion's or Mion, right? One of those two head in. So we know he's had these nightmares before, and this is a new one. So I wonder what's going on there. I'm sure we are going to get answers later on. But before we talk about the rest of the episode, let me remind you to like and subscribe. It definitely helps the channel out, and of course you already know I greatly appreciate it. But let's talk about Higurashi, because this episode, it was sad. I really hated what they're doing to Satoko, because ever since episode 1, right, she's always been happy, smiling, and kind of happy to be alive, right? And it wasn't until recently that we find out her dark past, right? We see that she lost both her parents, and then whenever she was put, her uncle and aunt took her in, adopted her, she started getting abused along with her older brother. And honestly, I'm sure the older brother was kind of like in the middle of the abuse, right? Like, I'm pretty sure he got the worst of it because he didn't want her, his sister, to get abused as well. But she still got, physically abused, maybe even more. We don't know. But she was definitely getting beaten up. She wasn't fed. It was horrible. Like, I don't even know why people would do that kind of stuff to kids, especially when it's family, right? Like, how it's the uncle, like Satoko's father's brother. How can he do that to his own kin? That's absolutely messed up. Again, I really do hope something bad happens to that dude. Like, I really hope he gets what's coming to him. Now, the one thing I do want to talk about Satoko and her past is that I believe Satoko is the only character in this whole series that we have not seen kind of flip that switch and come and like be all evil. You know what I mean? So maybe she's kind of immune to that. Maybe she doesn't belong to one of the three families, like the three leader families. I forgot what they were called, and maybe that's why she's kind of not being possessed by those demons. That could be the reason. I don't know, but I do think she's the only one that hasn't snapped, because I know Mion, Chion, they have definitely snapped. Rina, you already know about her. She cray like crazy over 9,000. And then we also got Rika, where she did have a minor little freak out talking to Keiichi. So only Satoko hasn't done it. And just seeing Satoko kind of show up to school late, and you can see just the difference in her character, right? Where she's just kind of down, she's not smiling, she's not talking, she doesn't want to stay after school to play. Like, what does the uncle want from her, right? Why is he making her go to the house as soon as school is over, right? Like, does he enjoy abusing little kids? I mean, that dude just really pisses me off. But it's a really sad past, honestly. I mean, even at the end of the episode where we see Keiichi was going to kind of pet Satoko like he usually does, she just had a complete meltdown. I mean, she literally just started throwing up, saying how she hates it. She just completely just shut down her mind, could not take it anymore. And this is probably where we see Keiichi kind of take justice upon his into his hands and go and get Satoko's brother, and I hope he definitely hurts him. I really do, because I really hate people that abuse kids. And you know, we see that child services are not really doing anything, and I think that's definitely the wrong move. All because Satoko made a false claim years and years back, right? Whenever her mother went into a divorce where her father, it seems that she had some type of problems with her father. So she called child services and lied about the situation. So now child services are kind of not believing Satoko, right? Like they're probably thinking that she's lying about the abuse. And it doesn't seem to be the case, right? Like it does seem like Satoko is being abused. And if we take that flashback where we see like her brother hugging her and those marks about how they were not getting fed and stuff like that, if those flashbacks were legit, right? Not just put in there to make us think that they're not legit, then, you know, that's messed up. I feel like child services should definitely take every report very seriously, right? Even if the kid has lied before, because you just never know, right? Like you cannot expect a kid make those choices, right? Like maybe something was not happening with the father, but again, for some reason, she felt the need to call child services to get the father out of the picture. We don't know the whole details, right, to that whole situation. But I feel like child services should definitely 100% take every report, doesn't matter if the kid has lied or not, into consideration and take it very seriously and do a thorough investigation. Because I honestly, just from the way the uncle is acting when the teacher went to Satoko's house to check up on her, yeah, that was definitely a big a-hole move. I really hate that character. So unless they come with a twist that, you know, maybe Satoko is like, you know, she has killed 100 people and she's just acting all nice, and the uncle knows all of this, but he still has to take care of her because she's a minor. Maybe I'll switch kind of my mindset. But as of right now, I hope that uncle gets what he needs, because dang, I hate that dude. Overall, great episode. I loved it. The whole child abuse thing, heavy topic to talk about, but they deal with it in the episode. I'm sure Keiichi is going to take it. He's going to take justice into his own hands. But let me know in the comments what you thought of this episode. And like always, leave a like, subscribe, and I will see you on the next episode.